Well, good afternoon, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this October the 16th, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Monday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Monday afternoon. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the tropics here. As you can see here, here's what was left of Sean here. Sean has done weakened down just to a tropical wave. And we're not even worried about him no more much. Maybe bring some gusty wind, maybe some heavy rain fall to portions of the northern Leeward Islands here as well. Here is Invest 94L. Looks like it's a little bit better organized this afternoon than it was earlier yesterday. You know, remember yesterday it just had a few little blobs here and there. Looked like that tropical that was but it's probably highly unlikely, but they need to kind of watch it as well as it continues to push off to the west northwest. Maybe move this system here could move this away, and the waters down here in the Caribbean Sea is kind of warm, but like I said, got a lot of wind shear across the Gulf of Mexico right now because we got a frontal boundary extending through the Gulf of Mexico all the way up into the north central tropical Atlantic. And you can see here we got a big swirl over here. Nothing in the right home for activity up around the St. John and also to Newfoundland and also to the New Brunswick, Canada region as well for some showers activity there, maybe some snow as well also in that vicinity. Here's a little tropical wave here. The National Hurricane Center is monitoring as well. They need to monitor this one as well as it continues to move westward. Alright, that's pretty much, and then there's some other tropical waves a little bit here in the central tropical Atlantic and a little bit down in the off the South American coast. Alright, if you're a new viewer and you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and consider subscribing. Love to have you. Like these videos, share. Consider subscribing one more time if you have not. Love to have you. Alright, let's go ahead and get the show on the road there, folks. And we're going to finish up this forecast, and we're going to be starting off with 94L. Then we'll look at the watches, warning, and advisory map. Then we'll take a look at the radar view across the lower 48. And also we're going to take a look at the 7-day rainfall totals as well in this video. Alright, so let's go ahead and move on to 94L. As you can see, it's getting a little better defined. It's getting a little bit more shower and thunderstorm activity around. A lot better than it was yesterday. It went through a lot of wind shear yesterday. And also Sean was pulling some moisture, as you can see here, here's part of that system still behind it, still trying to pull some of that moisture back into it. This system here is trying to pull some of its moisture into it, so it's kind of having a fight battle right now. When this thing becomes Tropical Storm Tammy, it still has a shot at becoming Tropical Storm Tammy, since I'm looking at a little bit better organized this afternoon. Yesterday I was kind of a little optimistic because it didn't look too very impressive because, like I said, it just that wind shear and them storms kind of just pulled it all apart and just kind of didn't look too well. But it still could become Tropical Storm Tammy. But right now, over the next 48 hours, it only has about a 20% chance of development. Next 7 days, 70% chance of development. I would not be surprised at 2 p.m. advisory. This thing could drop down to a 60% over the next 7 days. Maybe keep it at a 20% chance over the next 48 hours. So we'll just have to wait and see what the 2 p.m. advisory. As I stated last night, the numbers would come down, and they did. They came down from 90%. You remember the other day? 7 days all the way down to 70% now, and like I said, it may drop down to 60%, but right now if it's looking a little better organized, they may keep 70%, but we'll just have to wait and see in the next advisory. But it do look like it's getting its act together a little bit, so we're just gonna wait and see if this system can pull through models here in a minute. Alright. Yeah, we'll look at the Spaghetti-O models, and then we'll look at the intensity guidance of this system. Alright, you can see here, here's the center of the storm. Continue to push on to the west-northwest. They kind of spread out. There's a couple models wants to keep it a little further to the east. A lot of them are starting to trend back to the west. I expect that to continue. The more weaker this system is, the a weaker system will move more westward. A stronger system will move north and more northeastward. So if this thing does not become a tropical depression or tropical storm, these lines may move down a little further and may sneak into the eastern Caribbean Sea, just like Philippe did. I remember a lot of the models before, when Philippe was supposed to turn it out here, then turn it here, then turn it here. But in fact, the center of the storm went across the northern Leeward Island, got in here, and then moved across Puerto Rico, and then moved northward. So it got a little further westward with the model were projecting, and but we finally nailed it down at the end of the before it hit the Leeward Islands. We nailed it down before it got there. But anybody in the northern and central Windward and Leeward Island need to watch out for this system. Also, the Sean that I showed you on the satellite radar imagery there, showing some moisture moving away out of Sean. I would not be surprised you get affected by some of that moisture. What with the remnants of Sean maybe affect the northern and central portions of the Leeward Islands. So you may get some heavy rain and some gusty winds out of that system as well. But we'll continue to monitor this here and see what happens. See if this thing can become a tropical storm. But right now, it's only had a 20% chance over the next 48 hours. Alright, intensity guidance still keeps the winds at 20 knots, 25 miles per hour maximum sustained winds. Keeps a tropical depression. Now it takes it out about 24 to 36 hours out, 48 hours out to a tropical storm. One shoots it up to a category 3. Yesterday, I think one of them shot it all the way up to a category 4. And a lot of models kept it into a category 1 and 2. I see they keep dropping it down further and further. So I would not be surprised these here squiggly lines continue to come further and further to the south, and this may just remain a tropical wave. So we'll keep an eye on that and see. I will have more on it tonight, and also we'll have more on it tomorrow as well, and the remainder of the week. Alright, there's your tropical update. Now let's take a look at the watches warning and advisory map for your location across the nation. Alright, you can see here, we got some coastal flood advisories up here around the New Jersey, Delaware region. Also eastern and southeastern Pennsylvania area, and also down into eastern Virginia. Also, we have some coastal flood advisories also for portions of northeast Florida. Florida. But anyway, we got some gale warnings up here in the Outer Banks. Also some small craft advisory there as well, and also same down here from southern South Carolina to the east coast of Florida. Also west coast of Florida all the way back to southeast Texas. Same over here, some small craft advisory, gale warning in effect for Southern California all the way up into Washington State. Got a few hydro issues there as well. We still got those high wind warnings over 4 portions of Montana. Got a red flag warning for a county there in northern Montana. Got some high wind advisories, high wind watches in effect for you guys in portions of Wyoming. The Hawaii and Chain Island looks good. Southwestern Alaska still got your winter weather advisory, special weather statements to the south. And also we have those gale warnings and also small craft advisory for the coastal areas of Alaska as well. Alright, weather radar time. We're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. We're going to start over here in the western portion of the United States. We got some showers up here across Vancouver, Canada. Also down towards Seattle, Washington, also down into Portland, Oregon and surrounding areas, and also into northwestern California, and also into portions of the Pacific Ocean. Alright, as we continue to move to the east here, we got some scattered showers up here around Buffalo, New York. Well, let's move on up here. We'll start up here in Maine. Also some up here around New Brunswick. also through Maine, also toward Vermont, also toward Boston, Providence, Rhode Island, also up toward Boston, Massachusetts, also Albany, New York, just east of Buffalo, New York as well, and also just a little bit around Cleveland, Ohio, a little bit northwest of New York City. Alright, we toward Cincinnati, Ohio, a little bit of Louisville, Kentucky, toward Nashville, Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee, some in northern Georgia, around the Atlanta area, up toward the Greenville, Spartanburg area, South Carolina. A little bit of shower activity. I would not be surprised to see in the western North Carolina mountains, eastern Tennessee, may see a little bit of snow and mixed precipitation there as well for today. Maybe up into West Virginia, maybe even in Kentucky as well, and maybe up toward the northeastern United States. There may be a little bit of mixed precipitation as well in the rainfall. And finally, let's move on to the rainfall totals. As you can see here, the heavy precipitation offshore. You can tell that model sniffing out something moving across the Cuba area and then on across the Bahamas out to the coast. That look like that maybe that tropical system. Also, we got some a lot of heavy precipitation off in the coastal waters. Lighter amount inland across Florida, back over to Louisiana, all the way up into portions of South Carolina, North Carolina, Virginia. A little bit more heavier precipitation over eastern Tennessee, all the way into portions of West Virginia, and then on up into portions of New York State, Maine, New Brunswick, and southeast Canada as well. Lighter amounts across southern Canada, also back into portions of the Great Lakes region, the northern plains, and also over here in the Pacific Northwest, some lighter precipitation, heavier precipitation from northern California all the way toward the Vancouver, Canada region, southwestern Canada, and also the Gulf of Alaska as well. Dry conditions in the clear spots where there is no precipitation. Alright, well, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well. Also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. We'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful Monday afternoon, folks. Take care.